For you, if you listen to the first recordings of these songs, were you surprised by how you sung, or what you sung, or how you phrased?
I didn't listen to them.
No?
So,
okay.
I mean, it's not really about that. It's not about, we didn't as a group of people say, okay, let's have a listen to the original version of A Night In. It's like, it's irrelevant. You know, the only thing that's relevant is, you know, about that song, I suppose, for me, is like, is to say to the guys, you know, like, we're playing this song really, really great, and I'd love a chance to sing it now with what it means to me now, you know.
So these songs do have in common that you played them live in recent years.
No, not necessarily, but
Okay.
but I think the heart of the album comes from that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because you have to know them. You have to.
Oh yeah.
You have to. I mean, know them, but also know how they've changed and how they need a new recording.
Yeah. No. Yes, and some of them we kind of. I suppose some of the songs are. We picked them up, you know, because to see how they felt now, you know. But the heart of I think the heart of the record has been driven by this band that we've become, you know, how we connect with these songs from like a long time ago.
You said some songs you picked up. Can you name me one song? You say what?
What You Fighting For? The last song on that. It was that
for
was
the hunger for the hungry soul.
Yeah, that was you know, a song we always loved, but it never found its space to exist in. You know, I think, I think that this. I think the way we were thinking about this record and how we felt about it, it felt like it had another chance, you know. And it really in the recording process, we went to Abbey Road with 15, 16 songs, and in the recording process, that song came from behind, you know. It was like it kind of took us by surprise. It demanded its space. Other songs that we thought were really going to be strong centerpieces, they weren't, you know. You know, we worked so quickly. It was, you know, we had 4 days to record the record, and I think it's. But I think in that way we prepared in a certain way to allow whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and we're going to deal with it, and we're going to make this record there and then. I think that meant that at the end of the second day, we'd been playing for two days. At the end of the second day, we track listed the record, you know, and then we said, okay, these songs are going to be finished, and this is the shape of the album, and this is what's exciting to us.
How many songs did you practice?
Record.
No, you recorded 10 songs, but how many songs did you?
Oh no, we attempted recording like 15, I think, 15. And we ended up with 11 finished songs, and there's 10 on the record, and there's one waiting to have its moments.
Why? Because it wasn't properly recorded now?
No, just due to the shape of the record.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the album's called Across 6 Leap Years. When did the album title come into your mind?
I think it's just a little bit more romantic than, hey, this is 21 years since 1992, I suppose. You know. So I'm sure, you know, I've realised that a leap year is a year that happens every 4 years with an extra day. So 1992 was a leap year, and 2012 was a leap year. So I'm sure you have a really long word for that thing, but in English it's a leap year, but it's not necessarily. I've realised something that people understand immediately. Yeah.
No, sorry, I didn't understand. Okay. Something else that you are publishing a book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you say? Well, I read through the book. A certain, I think the first, can I call it lyrics or poems or what?
No, the lyrics, the song lyrics. Yeah.
The first was from 1977.
Yeah, that's the first song I ever wrote. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you include this song?
It felt relevant to me because that's the first time I can remember trying to write a song. You know, so I was 12 years old, and that's kind of like what I remember that song to be. And I think it's like the idea of one half of the book, you know, was the way I work, the way I write. I don't write on on paper. So I work on songs in my head, and then they just stay there. And I think people think I'm a bit weird for this, but I remember all my songs. I can't remember. I can't remember where I put my keys, but I can remember songs from many years ago. And this book was, in a way, kind of maybe because of the anniversary, whatever, but just to kind of maybe it's time to write these songs down and see how they feel, and maybe I'm going to be able to forget them now. Now I've written them down, So, and maybe that would be a good thing. And,
Why?
I think maybe things like that they shouldn't kind of be there. Maybe they need to be cut loose and leave new space to explore different things.
Were they cut loose?
I don't know. I mean, time will tell, but I think it was a kind of part of the reason for writing them down,
Because did it bother you, or was it something that they stayed in your head, or is it just?
No, I think it's. I think I was thinking about writing them down in some way, and my wife Suzanne is a painter, and she started this. She started this project of painting the sky every day for a year, and so sometime during the day, she would go and get a paint box and go and sit down or stand up somewhere and paint the sky. And so I had to watch her kind of do this for like a year. And when she was working, I felt a gradual kind of connection with what she was doing to how I write songs, in a way. That when a song comes, it's like it's a moment, a fleeting moment, and then you kind of work hard to kind of make something about that moment tangible, that you can then work on it later, so it can be in my mind, and it can, if it's like a line, a melody, or a kind of word or a phrase that kind of can just stay with me, that has a chance to grow from. And watching her paint the sky, there was something that had in common, with this moving kind of changing thing she was trying to capture within paint. And I think that I kind of felt that, I felt that there was a connection, and this started a conversation, and it led to us making this book, and then the book led to an exhibition, which is a kind of a relationship, I think, between my songs and her painted skies. We chose kind of relationships between like the songs and skies. We put them together and created a book.
So let's say that the songs were selected based on what song fitted a certain painting. Or?
No, I think there was a certain amount of at the end of being convinced by each pair, that it kind of changed around. But really, for my songs, maybe I've written 200 songs, I don't know. But for me, writing them down for the first time, I chose to, after experimenting, I chose to type them with an old typewriter. And I approached them in a way of, if I remained interested in the song, like in the words, writing them down, that then they would have a chance of being in the book. But some of the ones I got to the second line and scrapped it. Some of the ones I got to the end and I didn't like it. Some of the ones I didn't even want to go near. I think so.
Why not? Because you were not happy with them?
No, just because I felt so far away from them. I think in a way, I think that. But 75 kind of made it. 75 skies, 75 songs is what the book is.
Is are there certain songs that surprise you lyric-wise?
Totally, yeah.
Can you explain? What did you?
I think that I think that some of them I can, some of them I can looking back a long time, I can feel the work, and I can kind of admire the ideas in them, from at a distance now. But some things I did, that were so kind of succinct and minimal without realizing. I find them really kind of moving now, you know, like what the person I've become. And I think like, wow, how did I do that? You know, I wish I could do that now. Like just a kind of, you know, just kind of like a flick of the wrist, you know, like that means so much. And that for all kind of sometimes being a younger man and writing, how that kind of can be. Not, you know, the details in it now, looking back, can be kind of, I think I wouldn't do that now, I wouldn't do this now, that's a little bit showy, or, you know, like occasionally things like that, but then against that there are songs that are just so simple, so just, you know, I think, wow, I wish I could do that now.
Do you have an example of a line?
No, it's not so much a line, but a song, like there's a song on our first album called "Tide." There's a song on Can I Love called "Trickling," but they are just one-line songs. But to me, with the music, they can leave this kind of space to step into. You know, that allows you to feel something is not being led by a story, which I'm kind of, I think, far more like interested in kind of now.
I have to stop.
No problem.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.